These men is an internationally famous hypnotist. What is your name, please?
My name is Arthur Ellen.
My name is Arthur Ellen.
My name is Arthur Ellen.
Only one of these men is the real Arthur Ellen. The other two are imposters and will try to fool this panel. Tom Poston, Betty White, Alan Ludden, and Kitty Carlisle. On to Tell the Truth with your host, Bud Collyer.
Thank you very much. Thank you, and welcome once again to Tell the Truth, brought to you this week by Salem Cigarettes. Hi, panel. Hello, Bud. How are you all? For the 4 or maybe 5 people in our audience who don't know, Betty White is now Mrs. Alan Ludden.
Very happy about it.
Betty, how long have you been married?
3 weeks, 3 days, 4 hours and 20 minutes, approximately.
40 minutes. I'm not going to get in on anything here. I'm going to leave that one right alone. I do know, however, that there's very good news for people who want to see you together because you're opening, it'll be tomorrow night, won't it?
Tomorrow night.
In Brigadoon.
Yes, in Patterson, New Jersey.
Oh,
Hey, boy. That ought to be fun, real good fun. Would you kindly open up your envelope, take out your affidavit cards for the first time, and follow along with me as I read from my copy? Okay, Bud. All right, Tom. I, Arthur Ellen, have hypnotized more than 70,000 people during my appearances in theaters and nightclubs across the country. I am, however, just as interested in hypnotism as a science as I am in hypnotism as entertainment. The most rewarding part of my work is helping people to overcome personal habits such as fingernail biting, fear of flying, temporary laryngitis, weight control, as well as assorted apprehensions and imaginary aches and pains. Among those I have been able to help are Vic Damone, Maury Wills, George Gobel, Guy Lombardo, Jackie Jensen, Johnny Mathis, Tony Curtis, Tony Martin, Sal Magley, and Harry Belafonte. Signed, Arthur Ellen. Panel, we have here 3 gentlemen all claiming, as you heard, to be the same person. Arthur Ellen by name, by profession, hypnotist. And we start this first round of questioning with Tom Poston. Tom?
Oh, thank you, Bud. I'd like to ask number 2, for instance, what's the purpose of that gold watch on a chain that hypnotists often use in their, at least in their act?
I guess it's for focal attention. I never use it.
What do you use, number 2?
No particular device, just try to capture attention.
Thank you. Number 3, who's the first great, well-known hypnotist that we hear so much about?
Franz Anton Mesmer.
Thank you. Number 1, where was he from? Where did he...
He was from Austria and practiced in France.
He was from Austria, though.
Yes.
I always thought he was a French cat. Number 2, how do you know, for instance, the basic reason why someone might bite nails? Suppose, for instance, that you stopped a person from biting nails, and it was really a screen for something much more serious. Wouldn't it then turn in on the person and do him some harm?
Would you repeat that question?
See, somebody stopped me from biting my nails when I was a kid, and this is the result. But how do you know the basic reason for someone's biting nails? How can you tell just by talking to them?
Well, it probably serves some purpose, so we try to find out what it is that makes the person so sensitive that he needs a symptom at all. That's whether it's nail biting or anything else.
Betty.
thank you, Bud. Number 3, does everyone go under more or less in the same length of time?
No, it varies with the individual. It's a question of cooperation, probably.
Number 2, what is the fastest you've ever put someone under hypnosis?
Probably a few seconds.
Number 1, when did Maury Wills come to you?
This was in December of '62.
Of 62. Mm-hmm. Number 3, what was Maury's main reason for wanting hypnosis?
Well, he had some trouble with his legs. As a matter of fact, they were hemorrhaging.
Thank you.
Alan.
Number 1, did you understand Tom Poston's question?
I believe I did.
What's the answer? I didn't understand the question, but
Which one?
That long one.
This wasn't directed to me.
I see. All right, number 3. How long is the span of involuntary attention in a normal individual?
You mean under hypnosis?
No. Involuntary attention.
Well, there again, it varies with the individual. Now, small children have a very short attention span.
Number 2, is there for our normal adult, the involuntary attention span? How long is it?
You asking me?
Number
It
2.
depends on the individual.
Kitty.
Number 1, do you practice mass hypnosis?
I do this occasionally in some of my acts.
Can you manage to make a whole audience do the same thing?
No, this is very difficult. You'll probably have 10 to 15% of the audience.
What do you use for hypnosis, number 1?
Suggestion, usually it takes 6 to 15 seconds for
You
the
don't
majority.
use a shining object?
No.
Do you, number 3?
No props, no gimmicks.
Number 1, can you tell me the color of Tony Curtis's eyes?
Tony Curtis's eyes are blue.
Thank you. Number 3, when...
That's all the time we have, and it's just as well, I think. For to call a halt on further questions and just get to the business of marking your ballots, will you do so at once, please? And without change, of course, as you vote now without consultation for number 1, number 2, or number 3. Our team of challengers will be awarded the usual $250 for every incorrect vote. Are all ballots marked? All right, Tom, for whom did you vote?
I voted for number 2. I wish that he'd been a little more straightforward in his answer about the attention span, but I dare say it does vary from person to person. It's just that he could have said something besides that, I think. But what am I knocking him for? I don't even know if he's the right one.
Betty, what is your choice?
Well, I don't think it was number 2. He looks more like he'd be a gambler to me, I think. And I think it's number 1 because I look into his eyes and I get a very funny feeling, honey. I mean it on
Alan?
Oh, I don't know. She shakes me so. Well, I voted for number 3 because remembering my freshman psychology, remembered that there is some variation, but there should be a standard length of involuntary attention span for adults, and he sounds like the doctor to me, the man who does it. And I'm sure I'm not right.
Well, you have a choice, Kitty. You can go with 1, 2, or 3. They've all
I voted for number 2. I liked his answer to Tom's long question, which I flatter myself I understood. I don't think he gave a complete answer, but I think he understood it too. So I voted for number 2.
Tom is laughing because even he didn't understand it.
It was an interesting lecture, though, wasn't it?
All right, there we go now. The votes are all neatly tucked away. Let's get to the polling booths and find out what the result is as we learn which one of these gentlemen actually is the professional hypnotist. So will the real Arthur Ellen please stand up?
Get up there. What a gambler he'd be.
Thank you, sir.
Very specific one.
It wasn't a very specific one.
It does depend on the individual, sometimes only a few seconds.
What
Matter
a great
of fact,
gambler you'd be.
Tom, if you and Kitty would like to step out here, he'd be glad to...
No, it's Betty that got the look in his eye.
Can you imagine?
Right. And I thought it was scientific.
Can you imagine if he was a gambler, he could say, lose, lose, lose.
Incidentally, Arthur Ellen's opening at the Sahara Hotel in Las Vegas next week, so run out there and see him. How about these other 2 gentlemen? Number 1, what is your real name and what do you really do, sir?
My name is John Worrell, and I'm associated with the Norelco Hearing Aid Division of North American Philips.
And number 3, you also got a vote. What is your real name, sir, and what do you do?
My name is Douglas Andrews, and I am Eastern Advertising Manager for Air Force Magazine.
Well, when we check the score, we find, of course, there were 2 incorrect votes. And at $250 each, gentlemen, that's $500 you take away with you from Salem Cigarettes, as well, of course, as a carton of Salem's on your way out. And our thanks to you for being with us, and hope you had as good a time as we did. Good night. God bless you. Now, everyone, let's relax for just a minute and take a look at this delightful film and discover a new world of springtime.
Stay tuned.
Kitty?
Yeah.
Oh, well, what the heck?
What did he do last week?
It isn't how you
What
play the
did you do
game,
last
whether
week,
you win or
Tom?
lose.
That's right.
How did you
How
do
many did you get
last
last week?
Don't say.
This week it was nothing. Last week, 0.
All right, whatever it was, you're always great, every one of you, and I love you. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Thanks for being your own sweet selves. Don't forget to join us this same time next week. And, of course, I'll be with you tomorrow afternoon on the Daytime Show. In the meantime, Bud Collyer saying good night. Salem Cigarettes and reminding you to tell the truth. Good night, everybody.
To Tell the Truth is a Mark Goodson, Bill Todman production. Tell the Truth has been brought to you tonight by Salem, the cigarette that refreshes your taste. Johnny Olson speaking for To Tell the Truth. This program was pre-recorded.